Alright, well folks, this, you know Shoshone, and this is the absolute perfect horse to have for me because of what, you know, we do a lot of our videos on by what people ask us. And the ask us part is this scenario. This horse is 10, and I've already told you, I would take him any day of the week to cowboy on because he's a good, tough, tie-down cattle, no quit him, straight up and down rock crusher. But he's not real handy, not as handy as I want. And then because he's not handy, his reason is because he does push on the bit, and he's not on the hindquarter all the time. So I just need to put that on him, and then I'm going to feel really good about it. Well, I can't put it on him with my slicer bit or a shank western bit. I'll get it done a lot quicker with this bit because of the direct contact. Now, you've watched me do this several times, and I hope you're not bored to death because every horse is different. In this particular horse, I'm always telling you about my offhand. If I was turning left, this would be my offhand, the one on the opposite side. And I typically lift and pull back to shift the weight. When I turn, I have to be lower with this horse because of the way his neck is made. So, be it ever so small, there's no place like home. I'm telling you, there's a different way to ride this horse than what I've been riding. And he's the perfect one to show you what I'm talking about a flat horse or a horse that's on the forehand. And like all the horses, I get them backing up first because that's how I can get collection on them. And I'll show you. And the nose band will go away. That's temporary because all the horses that I ride at this particular level have all been taught to gap at the mouth. Now, I don't need him to yawn. I can look at his teeth some other day. What I need him to do is keep his mouth closed. He'll learn by the concept of release to close his mouth. Now, the basics are going on right now. He hasn't paid much attention to my seat. And everybody gets caught up in bits and bridles and what to hang on them, but you're forgetting the fact that it's about your skeleton that actually makes this happen. That's the icing on the cake. So please don't short yourself and just think about buying bits at the feed store. Teach your horse to listen to your skeleton. And with the direct contact, I'm able to put his neck and head the way I want it. Now you notice I don't, when I release, it's a release with my elbow. It's very simple math. If you were a mechanical engineer, you would draw a straight line from the bit to my elbow. So when I do release, it's not like this. I release with my elbows. My legs are off. My spine is bent. And I'm asking for the backup. Now I can feel the engine start to die, and that's when I pull. So when I'm done, I just drop my seat and I start the conversation. So now this horse is 10, so walking forward, I'm going to be asking also. There. Now I will sit down and ask him to walk backwards. If I can hear the cricket while he's walking backwards, then I know I'm gaining on him. There. There means intentional step. Remember, it's right above your belt line where you ride a horse. You take your legs off by tightening up the muscles above your knees. Now I'm sitting as high as I can, walking forward, not allowing a loose rein, and sitting down. That time it meant something. Now I raise up my spine, take my legs off, look at the horizon, try to give. Now I want to count the intentional steps. 1, 2. Engine died. Engine died meaning the horse stopped. Okay, when this is over, he's going to walk backwards on a loose rein until I sit down. That's the transition I need you to understand that has to be accomplished on these older horses. Intentionally walking backwards, wake him up with my spurs, backwards. So, as of to date, I get 1, 2 intentional steps. That's it. I'm telling you, when I get done with this horse, and it usually takes a couple weeks, he's going to walk backwards intentionally without me pulling on him. That's where I'm headed with that particular exercise. Now, the turnaround. I'm going to do it out of the back so you can see what I'm talking about, a horse falling on the front end. He's going to fall on the forehand and just not turn on the hindquarter. I'm going to ask now, put my left leg on, not hold him in collection, and ask him to turn. Okay, he did turn, but what he did was just walk through with his front feet. Now I'm going to do it correctly with my skeleton and my hands. Now I'm going to walk backwards, and I'm going to ask him to turn to the right now. I'm not going to let him bleed out and fall forward. That's where we're headed with the turnaround. So you can incorporate it right after you beat backing up, or you can do it in circles. He's starting to lighten up. Now once again, when I raise my shoulder, now I say the term raise my shoulder. Let me face you a second. Here's what it looks like when you want to drive your left seat bone into a horse. This part of my shoulder goes up and back. Up and back. If you'll do that sitting in the kitchen chair, not a lazy boy, a real chair, you'll feel your left seat bone push down when you do this. If you're on your right seat bone, it's incorrect. You let your body shift its weight. Your right leg comes off, so now you've opened the entire door for the horse to turn to the right. That's the skeleton talking. All right, now you incorporate it to the horse and hold the horse in collection, meaning take and give, take and give, take and give. Here comes the turn now. Left spur, right shoulder. In time, all I'll have to do is roll my calf and raise my right shoulder. Okay, in the heat of battle, when you're working cattle, I've told you this before, a really good hand, which I've seen plenty of them, they're doing this without even knowing it. Now, I'm going to lift and offer the horse a chance to turn. Now, he didn't make it, so now I'm going to help him. My outside foot is going to come in. I'm not going to allow him to bleed forward. I'm going to make him step across. So once again, I'm doing it mechanically with my foot. He's not listening to my shoulder. Well, we just met, basically. Backing. Now I'm going to raise my right shoulder, look to the right, and I felt the body shift that time. The feet didn't make it, but the body shifted. Which reminds me, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to save you some money. If you're having some kind of problem with your horse, and you feel that compelled to call an animal communicator, well, don't. Pay attention and you'll get your questions answered. Exhale, horse stops. Backing. Now I'm going to offer any kind of a right foot. There's the shoulder. Here it comes. I'm going to time it as the foot comes off the ground. My left spur is going to engage. Now, boom. He put his head up and ran into my hands. Now you can understand why I'm restarting this 10-year-old gelding that I'm so proud of cowboying on. He's really good, but he can be twice as handy as he is. He just has never been shown. Last time, shoulder, leg, turn. Turning left. Now you're going to watch my right leg engage. Backing, I'm going to turn left. Backing straight. I've backed up enough times now where he gets it. And shoulder, step. Shoulder, step. He's heavy as 100 pounds on my hands. This is a new deal for him. He'll be fine. There's gentle and dull, and there's gentle and handy. So I'm going for gentle and handy. All right, another way to accomplish this. You've seen this before. This is a flat horse walking in a circle. Flat meaning not on the hindquarter. My left hand is going to put him on the hindquarter right about now. Now I've set him up in some level of collection, and he thinks it means stop because that's where he's been taught. Now he's carrying himself. Now watch my left foot, right shoulder, engage, pushing on my hands but stepping across. So after 4,000 of these over the next couple weeks, it'll make sense to him. And he'll lighten up. I can lighten a horse up pretty, I hate to use the word easy, but I'm just saying that if you approach this correctly, you can get this done. And if you'll notice, I don't do any of this at a run. Now the other direction, be left shoulder, right foot, right hand setting to the hindquarter, bringing around, and leave. This is all the stuff that we get in the mail. This is the number one thing right now that's going on. Young horse, old horse, doesn't matter. It's about you presenting your skeleton correctly and remembering that collection turns into self-carriage. I'm working on collection as I walk. But I'm not see, my hands are always giving. Right shoulder, left foot, left hand brings it back, nose goes into my hands. I got the feet, but not the nose. So this goes on and on and on for 10 minutes. There's a difference between schooling and drilling. Drilling is when your horse turns into mindlessly wandering. So that's when you go in a horse show. Schooling is when you teach a horse something and then let them go free and be able to digest it and think about it. Because you don't have to be at the horse show. All you got to do is go down and get the mail. Or go out and make a circle. So please remember that the body needs to be thought of. This is just the mechanical Neanderthal part. Just to cross that bridge into collection. After that, they're going to ride off of your body. And you've watched me do it with a few horses, and they've all been different. And this one is pretty darn heavy on my hands. But he's going to be a really good horse. So, good luck with that, and thank you.